my God. Woo! My heart, my liver, my kidneys. Why are they doing this? Oh my God. Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we are back with another reaction to The Last Samurai Standing. We're now on to episode 5, which is called Spectres. So in the last episode, we decided to try to dig a little bit more into what's going on behind the game. We see that our newly formed alliance decided to execute a plan that was created by Kyojin, and it was to find out just how far and deep as far as the reach of the game master went. So they had someone arrested to see whether or not the police would get involved to protect them, or if the game would take them out. And then on the other side, they wanted to find out where they were taking all the bodies, because there was way too many bodies that were just disappearing with no trace. So someone had to have a lot of power and pull to do that. And both sides of that plan kind of worked in the sense of that they now know that, yes, the police are definitely either corrupt, which we did discover, or have enough people behind it to make those things go away. And we found out that the owner of one of the big banks is where they're keeping the bodies, at least at one of the locations. So we left the episode, or ended the episode, with Kyojin about to go up against the crooked cops or the fake cops. We're not sure which one they are at this point. And with Shijiro going up against, I can't remember what his name was, but he was somebody that was at the battle that we saw back in episode 1. So 2 fights about to kick off. Ready to jump in and see where that goes. Let's do that. Just before I do though, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. And please leave some comments below. It helps the girl out a lot with the algorithm, and I appreciate it so much. All right, that out of the way. Let's get into the episode right now. Oh, you were the one. Were you the one who tried to kill them all those years ago? Are they? Or are you just jealous because you can never swing a sword? Okay, what's your backstory to why you hate them so much? Their moss dignity, or maybe the fact that they can't work anymore. Yep. Mm-hmm. And y'all just listen blindly, huh? Yep, they wanted to wipe you all out. That wasn't the cop though. Sent them in to do your dirty work and then killed them. Wait, that looks very similar to what the Court of Nobles had on his kimono, right? Exactly, so I was right. The whole point of this is to get rid of who didn't die that day in the valley. Oh, Shijiro, I need you to get this man. I need you to kill him dead. With a sword. With a sword. It has to be with a sword. Really? Were you not paying them for something? Yeah, you better watch out for him. He's gonna make it all the way to the end. Are you sure? Pathetic, huh? But you're sitting in this little office pretty. Okay. He seems to not care about that. I think he wants the savage gone, as he should. They did replace swords. Look at that. He did adapt. Why are your blades kissing each other? Oh, not the wave. Okay. Those moments when, you probably should have just killed him on that battlefield. Hey? Oh my God! Woo! The speed! Go by the little spider monkey. Exactly. Keep trying to shoot me. I'm going to use him as a shield. Oh, damn. Y'all don't have a lot of bullets in that thing, huh? Oh, now you need it back, huh? Wow, he's a tough mofo. That adrenaline's a bitch. But he's bleeding out at least. Damn it, no. Damn! No, 2 broken swords. Now what do we use? Oh, there's more. Oh, Jesus, are these things made of paper? Right? It's like at this point, we're gonna have to go fisticuffs. A throwing weapon? Get over here. Yes! Ooh! That probably hurt his groin. Not gonna lie, I can feel. Oh, a spear. My man said it's not just swords. You look a little nervous, friend. Shujiro's like, it's been a minute since I've actually had to work out. Thank you for helping me limber up. God. Ooh, parkour, parkour, parkour. Up is never the right answer, but... Did he actually get hit? Yeah, time to run. Why are you still standing there? No, Chato Mata, you have to run. Samurais. Wait, who was on the left-hand side? Okay, that's the cop. So the cop got his ass whooped. He was just a bad samurai. Okay. I'm glad that they're showing that this is exhausting, especially the speed they were going with before. Okay, thanks. Well, then why did you say it? Is it? My name is Shujiro, bitch. Oh, thank God for the smoke bomb. Turned out to be helpful after all. Shinobi! Oh, right in the leg. I thought Shinobi's time was over. Why'd you take your sword out? Shouldn't you just shot him? Yeah, keep smiling. Hopefully he'll be warmed up better by the time he gets there. I'm gonna give my man a little leeway. Shujiro's a little rusty. He hasn't had to pick that thing up in 10 years. But he also used like 5 different weapons in there. I'm sure they didn't. Oh, did he? With Europe? Okay. Oh, that's going to be your downfall. Indeed. You don't know where the enemy could be hiding, but you say you trust Kawaji. Okay. I'm sorry. Everything about Kawaji sends off my alarm bells, even if I didn't know how it turned out. Exactly. There you go. This is why he's a strategist. Yeah, sacrificial lamb. Exactly. Never was. Exactly. There's going to be a battle royale there. No doubt. Yeah, they don't want multiple winners. Thank you. There we go. We're figuring it out. You picked up what your friend was trying to tell you. Yeah, he's like, I need to go kill some. She wants to come. I can't stop her. What's the option? She dies now? Let her keep fighting. Was he? Like, homie has done his homework, clearly. So the current minister definitely knew. He definitely knew Shujiro. Because why else would he have that picture? My man needs to think about it, girly. She's like, but I only trust you. Give him some time, Futaba. He didn't say no. He just needs to figure some stuff out. Can you tell her which one will? I love that she's not just sitting there expecting to be protected. She's trying. Yeah, Kyojin didn't have to put it like that. He wasn't wrong, per se, but he didn't have to put it like that. That does not equal weakness. That's true. What can you work with all those things? Nope, that's it. Girl. I know it's also a protection mechanism for Uraha as well. She doesn't want to care about anyone else after what she went through, but you could help her out. Geez, teach her at least one swing or something. Not you, the home minister. Oh, the closest aid. He did tell the truth. Yeah, it's like, you don't want to get involved, bro. I don't want you to get killed. Yeah. Go for a walk. Okay. What kind of full details can I give you, bro? Yeah, how can you do without breaking rules? Exactly. He hasn't confirmed anything, so it's not technically a rule breach. Appreciate you. Pretend I was never here. Smoke bomb.
150名以上の警官を動員し、秘密裏に演習を行っています。警視局が我々にすら知らせずに何かを進めている。
But you trust Kawaji though, right? Come on, man.
川地が戻り次第、私が直接話す。
Okay, and he's gonna kill you.
国州の元には私が向かいます。くれぐれも気をつけるように。
Please don't. I mean, they were watching Kokushu anyway, so. What is this book? Is this what he picked up in Europe? Okay, homie's actually getting to this cipher. You go. Code cracker.
追いつかんと、奪える木札もなくなるで。ああ、行こ
う。Not telling her anything. He's so tall compared to these guys. I need to find out how tall this actor is. He's just towering over them. I can't.
この青札は5点分になります。木札5点分をこちらに。
What is wrong with this kid? Did he forget his tags? Or did he decide not to go any further? It's like, I can barely keep you alive. Yeah, and I get it, Futaba, I do. And I know she relates to him so much because she feels like she's just going to be left behind each time too, or at some point. Yeah, he's like, I appreciate that you tried. It's very possible. Understood.
佐山様の実力では生き残る可能性がある9名には入れません。
You don't get to decide that for him. I get it though. Like, she literally works at a place where they take in children who have nobody. Like, this is against her nature in every way. Made y'all feel guilty, huh? He probably will die before the next checkpoint, but at least her conscience will be clear. 5点。支流塾通過を許可します。Literally gonna have to pick up the pace going forward though, really and truly. Let's go! Stop bowing and keep moving! Come on! There goes your theory of samurai just being hateful people only think about themselves, huh?
良き旅を。最後の9人に残れば生き残る可能性があると。
Did he? That's maybe what they've been told. I wouldn't believe that at this point.
東京に残る9人で何かをさせられるのは確実
You're absolutely right. If y'all make it, it's gonna be a battle royale.
私たちにそんなことを味方ではないが
Exactly.
希望が持てた双葉お前のおかげだ
Oh, you guys are too nice. Roja's like, that's all you're getting from me. I have no hope. Okay, nobody should be falling behind here. We're still in the killing fields. Let's go. Okay, didn't even get the rest of the info. Okay. And what sucks about the Savage is that he's proving these anti-samurai people correct.
つうわけでほとぼりが冷めるまで二手に分かれて進む
Right, he's like, he's actually pretty crafty. I don't trust him though. I feel like he might kill this kid. But he's not wrong. They shouldn't all be in one big group, considering what they pulled off. Even your gut's telling you something's off about that. How's it going there, Cypher? That's your new name, by the way. I can't read Japanese. What does that say? I should have learned how to read kanji.
警視局は
Well, how
川路がこの国の
convenient.
治安を守るため欧州にまで視察に行き着く
Mm-hmm. Kawaji. Oh, Kawaji in this case. Who's watching? Who's stalking on you? Who's peeping on you? Oh, you about to die. I don't like this shot.
新平殿、こんばんは。
You've been watched.
望月さん
This bitch.
内務省のお偉方に密手をつけていないとでも
Yeah.
残念でした。
Him and the clicking people like they're animals. I cannot wait for... He better, by the way, Shijiro to kill the hell out of him. Sakura face to face.
皆様、少々問題が発生いたしました。 警視局の関与が露見した可能性があります。
いや
Why are you scared? Aren't you proud of yourselves?
人斬り国衆主催違反で脱落ですか
Is he?
脱落にはしません。
主催ですが
まあまあ落ち着いて。
Yeah, he doesn't want to see him out yet.
亡霊同士、
Wait,
孤独
hold
の
on, sorry. Was that
詰まってきているようです。
Sansuke? This is Sansuke, right? We haven't seen him.
し合ってもらおうじゃないですか。
Yeah, he wants his battle royale, man. He don't much care about y'all, which is maybe a good thing. If the benefactors start to get a little bit nervous, that's not a bad thing. There's so many children here, and that savage is on his way. Oh my God, he will kill them all. See, I knew he was here. As soon as I saw all these people and children, I'm like, yep. Anyways, it's time for him to die anyway.
やる気はあらへんて。
He knows your
私
names.
のシクラ君。
So that's two of them.
あんたら孤独におる兄弟探しとるんやろ。
Shh.
兄弟の危機に興味ある？
What is he up to? Oh, he's still around too. We didn't even. Did I see him? I can't. I feel like I gotta go back and watch episode 1.
詳しく聞かせろ。
Dropped his sword. More trusting. Gentasai. Oh my God, not Gentasai and the Savage at the same time. Oh my God, 63 remaining. My heart, my liver, my kidneys. Why are they doing this? Oh my God. That's too many. That's too many. Gentasai and the Savage at the same time? And all those people, all those children. Gentasai will kill everybody. Oh, actually, I don't know about Gentasai. Gentasai seems to be a little bit more methodical. But the Savage will kill everybody. He don't give a damn. He will kill everybody. He will use those kids to slip up the... I don't know if I don't know, maybe, just although Gentasai versus the Savage, that could work. They can cancel each other out, maybe. I'm not against that. Gentasai will definitely get in the way of the Savage if he needs to. Would he stand back and let the Savage take out Shijiro? I don't know. We've just seen him killing mofos for the sake of it, so, I mean, he would know just by looking at the Savage that it's not one of them kids. I think he would know. But then again, he doesn't need to be very good at recognizing them right now. So, oh my gosh, what a mess. What a mess. All right, guys, another interesting episode. We didn't have as much in the way of battles outside of course, the, oh my gosh, amazing fight between Shijiro and the other former samurai. It looked like Shijiro was going to lose that fight. And again, I don't know at this point if it's a little, because I do think that out of all the fighters we've seen thus far, I do think Shijiro has the best skills. Possibly Gentasai might be at his level or higher. But my point is, I think he was better than the guy that he fought in this episode. However, Scarface has probably been honing his skills for a while. Whereas we know that, at least as far as we know, Shijiro has not picked up his sword in 10 years, right? He had his reasons for doing it. He does not want to continue this life. He's really trying to be the guy that his wife wants him to be. But yeah, we're seeing he's been thrown into this. He couldn't even pick up his sword. He couldn't even take his sword out of the scabbard until a couple of days ago. So he is still very much working through a lot. But as I said, I mean, the muscle memory is definitely still there. The skill set's never going to go away. But, you know, when you're out of practice, you're out of practice. But I'm wondering how much of that is a factor. And I also think there's a small factor of him still not really wanting to kill. Like that outburst he had in episode 2 was him letting, you know, like I said, I was letting loose a lot of the repressed anger and frustration he'd been feeling for a long time. But I think now that he's kind of let that out of his system, he doesn't necessarily want to keep going with indiscriminately killing people if he doesn't have to, right? Because even when he broke into that bank, he only knocked out, at least I think so. I think he only knocked out the guy that was in there. I don't think he just wanted to kill him, right? So I don't know. And again, this is someone he knew, right? The Scarface is someone he knew, someone who went through the same thing that he did. And I think, you know, he feels like some level of kinship there despite everything. But, you know, obviously we see Scarface was ready to take his life if that's what it took. And again, did he need to? I don't think so, because at this point, it wasn't like Shujiro was really trying to escape, right? He hadn't tried to do that. His tag was still on. Yes, he found out where the bodies were, but he could have left, right? Between when he took out the guard to when Scarface showed up, Shujiro could have tried to slip them, but he didn't. So it should have been pretty clear he wasn't trying to escape. But anyway, obviously Scarface wanted to fight. Some of these samurai, I mean, I feel like Scarface and the Savage are kind of two sides of the same coin. The difference being that Scarface has more restraint, right? He's able to pull back a little bit more. But either way, you know, he wanted to fight. That's what it came down to. And he was prepared to finish it. But thankfully, Iroha said, nope, not today. I need him for something more important. So yeah, the distraction was created. And we see that Shujiro got away again by the skin of his teeth. But yeah, now we know that. I think that, well, he said, I'll see you in Tokyo, right? So they keep dropping hints that there's a battle royale coming. And I'm just looking at the screen right now and it's showing the last episode's called Mortal Kombat, of all things. Yeah, I was right. Battle Royale coming. But anyways, that was kind of the only action we got in this episode as far as combat, but that's fine. We really didn't need more. Sorry. And also Kyojin's escape attempt, right? My guy's got that man. I got to look up the actor because he looks to me like he's got to be like 6'1", 6'2", because he is towering over everybody in this show. But anyway, you know, being tall and being able to move like he does is absolutely, he's no joke, right? He was doing some straight up parkour in that prison, right? And thankfully we see that he's not necessarily the get in there and get in your face type. I mean, he seems to like smaller weapons. We see he's got those like spears, those throwing spear type things. I haven't seen him pull a sword once thus far, so maybe that's not his weapon of choice, but he doesn't need to. He's very quick. I think he's definitely someone who prefers to fight at a distance or hand to hand if he has to. But either way, he did manage to just make it out of the police station. And well, you know, they know who he is now. They definitely know that he's been in the police officer's area. He knows about what's going on there. Why they want to kill him for that, though, makes little sense to me, because it's like he still hasn't broken any rules. Very technically, he hasn't broken any rules at all. His tags were on the entire time. He did not directly attack anybody who is enforcing the game. He didn't do anything. So really, this is just, I guess, these police officers not liking how far he's getting. But either way, I feel like there's some very loose rules around the extended police officers that are part of this game, and you know what the contestants are able to do with them. And I really don't think that Kawaji cares. He really don't give a damn. But anyway, so that's kind of what happened for action in this episode. And we saw that our group got back together. They put their information together. And yes, they came to some very valid conclusions, which is, yeah, the police is either in it or part of it. And that we've got some very rich people behind it that are financing it, but we don't exactly know why. And most importantly, that even if we do make it to the end, there's definitely a point to this that's not just winning this money. Like, it's feeling like they're trying to wipe out what's left of the samurai, which, you know, I think they all kind of agree that's the case. And everybody else is kind of collateral damage around this. So this is very important information. I think they all agree this is something that they need to know. And we see that Kyojin basically brings up the fact that it's getting harder, right? Like in the beginning, there was lots of cannon fodder, as it were. There's a lot of people who could be sacrificed, but we're getting down to the point where the people who are still alive are really dangerous. Like, these are no joke. These are people who actually know how to fight. It's getting really messy. So he basically was like, should Futaba continue with us? Is she really going to be an asset at this point? And I guess more directly to Shujiro, is she going to really help you, or is she going to become a hindrance? So maybe we should try to, you know, get rid of her now or have her stop at the next checkpoint. And again, they haven't exactly explained what happens if you can't pass a checkpoint, right? If you still have your tags, but just not enough to pass through, I mean, I think we can assume you're going to die, but they haven't directly said that. They just said they would handle that accordingly. So this is the part where it's kind of hard, right? Because on the one hand, obviously we don't want her to die, right? She's a child. She shouldn't be in this game. But at the same time, she should be allowed to go as far as she can go, right? I think, Futaba's made it very clear she'd rather go down fighting than giving up and trying to run away. And so anyways, we see that, when Futaba basically tells Shijiro that I don't want to give up yet, he just tells her to be quiet. And he doesn't tell her she can't, but he also doesn't say he's going to take her, right? Which is very different than what we saw in episode 2, where he said, we'll go as far as we can. But again, I think that he's starting to recognize that even for him, this is getting to be a bit of a challenge, right? And again, I don't know if that's because he's rusty or because he just doesn't want to go all out yet. I still feel like there's still more. Shijiro is not at all a weakling, right? So I do think there's still part of it that's holding back in this whole thing. But anyway, we see that, again, we don't know, that's the other question we have to ask is, why does Kyojin know so much, right? Him letting everyone know that Shijiro has government connections, right? Which we discovered in this episode, which we talk about the people in the back. We'll talk about them in a second, but how does he know that, right? A lot of people nowadays probably do not know the kind of history that Shijiro has. I mean, as far as his fighting days, that part might be somewhat public knowledge, right? Because from the flashback we got in this episode, it looks like those samurais, at least the one that Shijiro was fighting for, they were part of either a government or a bigger party, right? Maybe a clan, actually, because they were wearing like an actual emblem. But anyway, I feel like, it was probably well known who you fought for back in the day. And so, or who you fought with. So maybe that's how he knows it. But the point is, how does Kyojin know all this? Why does he know everyone's names? Why does he know everybody from the hilltop? And why does he know about the brothers and sisters? Like, yes, he might have just been listening in on the story that he told Futaba the other day, but I feel like it's more than that. Who is this guy is the question. Who is Kyojin really? He says he's a strategist, but I still don't fully trust him is my point. There's still definitely some question marks about him. But anyway, he basically tells Shijiro that he should call in some of his higher favors. Like, if you don't want her to die and you don't want her to keep going in a place that she's going to die, then you need to figure something out. Maybe you need to pull your own strings if you have them. So that's what Shijiro tries to do. He doesn't want to take Futaba any further, which is just his fatherly protective side coming out. And you can tell that Futaba knows something's off with him, right? Because he's acting a little bit more, because he's never really been cold to her, and he's acting a little cold right now. So she's figured out that something's up, but she doesn't know what, and she doesn't want to push her luck. But anyways, we see that he went and decided to try to pull his strings, which was, what was his name? Okuba, I think was his name. The guy who was at the Home Office minister, he called him and said, hey, I just need you to get this kid out here. If you can get this kid out of here, then, I might help you. He did not promise anything, and he didn't actually technically break the rules, right? Which I don't think Kawaji knows that, but obviously Kawaji does not want him out before the finale. That part has been very, very clear. He wants Shijiro to make it to Tokyo. But digressing, that's kind of the deal that's happening there. So of course he hasn't told Futaba because he wants her. I think he knows that if he tells her, she'll probably try to take off on her own, which is what he doesn't want. And again, I feel like he's just so passionate about this because he is seeing his daughter in this girl, and he wasn't able to save his daughter, but this is something that's more in his control, right? So that's kind of what happened with the group. And outside of that, we saw a moment as well where what was his name? Shinosuke. He didn't pick up enough of the, he couldn't have, because actually what happened in the bar fight, he wasn't able to pick up enough tags for himself, and so he would have been left behind at this checkpoint. But we see that Futaba, I said this last episode, she really felt a connection with Shinosuke because they're both young kids. Well, I mean, he's technically, I guess, closer to adulthood than she is, but still, for all intents and purposes, he's a kid. And they both don't know how to fight. Both of them went in for trying to help out their families. Point is, she felt like he's in the same boat as her. And the only difference is that he didn't hitch his wagon to the right person, right? She thankfully got someone as upright as Shijiro, but he attached his wagon to, the scammer who ended up who's now dead, right? he went to the wrong group. So, understandably, she just doesn't feel right about leaving him when they had the extra tags to give him, right? So she said, I saw both sides of that argument, honestly. In the one hand, it's true. There's nothing that Shinosuke is showing at the moment that says that he's going to make it very far. I mean, at least Futaba's trying to fight, even if she's not doing it well. Homie could barely pull. All he could do is hold his sword like this. But let me not say anything because Futaba's only 2 steps ahead. Bless her. But anyway, he is giving the vibes that he's not going to make it. He's not even keeping up with the group when they're walking, but he's scared. And he doesn't want to be there, and he just wants to try to survive. And so, yeah, as Futaba said, and again, this makes sense because her mom is someone who taught her benevolence, taught her kindness, taught her not to leave someone out in the cold and behind if you have the power to help them. And I can't fault her. I love the fact that her mom took in all those orphans and tried to feed them and care for them even when she barely had the means to take care of herself. And so it's only natural that Futaba was like, this is not the way I was raised. I was raised to care for people when I have the capacity to do so. And I can't look my mom in the eye and tell her that I let people die for this money to save us, right? So I completely understand where Futaba was coming from. I understood that she wouldn't be able to just throw her morality away at this point. And like she said, I mean, if I die, I die, but I need to be able to do that with a good conscience. I want to be able to move past this with some semblance of who I am when it's all said and done. And so she went back and gave what she had to offer. And I really do like, though, that Shinosuke just thanked her anyways, because he really thought he was going to get left behind. But, you know, when she did it, of course, everyone's conscience felt like crap. And so, I mean, although I don't know, like I said, Kyojin, I feel like he just did it because, I don't know, I don't really think he was affected one way or another. But anyways, we see that everybody else kind of felt bad and they ended up bringing him through the next checkpoint. So, I mean, I do like that. And later on, we see that she felt bad. She felt like, okay, now they're going to think I'm holding them back even more because I did that. But I do like that Shijiro did give her that, you know, that pep talk, like, don't think of it that way. Like he said, you're right. Like, that's who I am as well. You know, I think what's hard for Shijiro is that he can be both sides of that knife, right? There's one side, one edge of that knife where he can be the brutal, absolutely precise killer that needs to get things done. That's who he had to be when he was a samurai. That's who he had to be when he was fighting in wars. But the other side of him is the father and the husband and the man who never really wanted to kill that much anyway, and who left that mountain rather than take his brother and sisters out, right? Or brothers and sister, I should say. So, you know, I think, again, he could see both sides of it, but in the end, he doesn't want to make Futaba feel bad for having a heart and a conscience because he has one too. He's trying to turn it off for this competition, but he can't very well be trying to save her and then not save somebody else who's kind of exactly like her. So I do like that he didn't like make her feel bad about it. He was just kind of like, you know what, you're right. Like, he reminded all of us that if we have the power to help, then we can. If there was no saving him, if we didn't have the tags, we wouldn't have had the tags, but we did. So at least we can say if he doesn't make it beyond this point, we did the best we could, right? So I agree. I mean, she did make the right decision, but if they had left him behind, I wouldn't have been mad at them. Let's put it that way. That's kind of how I feel about it at this point. So anyway, that was kind of a nice moment. And I feel like Aroha, I mean, I think she's on the brink of trying to train my girl, but since we're already on episode 5, I don't know if she's gonna have time to do it. It's like she really wants to help Futaba, but she also is so scared to open her heart up to anybody else after what happened on that mountain. So yeah, and she's the only one, well, not the only one. Thus far, she's one of the only ones we've seen so far who did not take on a family or try to live that life after the mountain. Whereas we see that Shijiro and Sensuke both got married and had kids. So yeah, she's kind of been living stuck in whatever happened on that mountain. So I feel like she's still a little bit more apprehensive about taking people in and caring for them again after what happened. But she's already kind of, you can tell she's already sweet on Futaba. So we'll see where that takes us. But that was kind of our group. And then on the other side of the game, on the other side of the Kudoku, we see that the minister is trying to figure out what's going on with all of this. And we see that both Okabe, I think it's Okabe, and then the other guy who is our cipher, we'll just call him that, they're both warning him that it's not making sense. Kawaji, it's feeling fishy. It's feeling like we can't just pretend that he can't be part of it just because he's been at this table. And the minister is loath to believe it. Right? We can see that him and Kawaji definitely have a history. They have friendship. And then he pulled out a photo that I'm fairly certain has the minister, Kawaji, and Shujiro. They were all together dressed in samurai attire. So at some point they were all samurai or served as samurai or something. So that is probably why, even more so, the minister is so loath to believe that Kawaji would do something like this, even though he can clearly see that Kawaji's got a real issue with samurai. But now the deeper question comes of, why does Kawaji have such a problem with samurai if he was one himself? At first I thought maybe he'd experienced some negative thing, like maybe a samurai had come and hurt him or hurt a family member or something. But instead we see that he actually was one at some point. But we know that within the samurai there was definitely hierarchy. Maybe he wasn't a very good samurai. Maybe he was looked down upon. Maybe he was bullied and tortured by them. I don't know. But it seems strange to have rolled with somebody at one point and now you're so anti them that you're trying to wipe them out for existing, right? Like, I understand for the people like the Savage, if the Savage has been going around since the samurais ended and just killing people willy-nilly with no explanations, then yeah, that's a good argument for going after them. But it looks like the vast majority of them are just trying to survive. They're just trying to find a way to work and support themselves and their families if they had them. That's it. And them not wanting to call themselves pieces of crap because they were samurai at some point, right? Because you keep saying, oh, why do they keep, they're wearing their pride? That's why. Is it their pride that they're wearing? Or is it just the fact that that was their livelihood? Maybe not all of them felt like they lived in a way that was shameful, right? The Court of Nobles guy, he literally spent his time, his whole life, his family line was dedicated to protecting people who had positions of power in Japan. Just like I can't forget, what do they call them? The rich, basically, that rich clave of men. They all had samurais. Their ancestors definitely had samurais working for them. So now they're shameful, right? So it's kind of like, where is this coming from? I guess we still don't know. I'm hoping in the next episode we find out what Kawaji's beef is, because he was part of the gang and now he's anti-gang. And we found out he went as far as going to Europe and studying all about how to create a police and how to centralize their police. And then why did he set up the game? Why did he do all that to come back and set up this game to kill off what was left? And who set the order on the battlefield? We finally saw the battlefield perspective of what happened 10 years ago. We've only seen what happened from Shijiro's perspective before this. Now we see that they saw the signal that the battle was won, and it was their own side. It was actually Shijiro's side, whoever he was fighting for, that wiped them out. So why? Who gave the order? Where did that come from? So those are two outstanding questions. What is Kawaji's motivation? And then who gave the order? Why did we want to wipe them out? Where did that even come from? So anyway, that's all happening there. And then of course we see that unfortunately we lost Cypher, because Cypher did not think, and I get it, he probably would never thought that it would have gone this high, but he didn't think that whoever was organizing this might have spies right there in the minister's office to make sure. And again, to me, he should have known though, like if you thought Kawaji is dirty, as soon as you deciphered that one thing that said Kawaji, you should have been like, oh, maybe he's got people in here. If he's doing all of this under our noses, he probably has people right here watching. But bless him, he was just so into the cipher. He was so happy he was finally making headway after days of trying to crack it. He just didn't figure that he could and again, at night, bro, you didn't go in broad daylight where there's lots of people around? Anyways, they probably would have killed him in his sleep regardless. Anyway, that's kind of sad though that we lost Cypher just like that. And of course, Enju's annoying ass was there. So that's his right-hand man. I guess Enju's right up his ass, unsurprisingly. But anyway, I also want to know too, yeah, there's something going on. There's definitely some higher plots that happened with the samurai that we haven't heard yet, because I think it's pretty safe to say that Enju was probably a former samurai. We already know Scarface was as well. And now we know Kawaji was. So how many of these former samurai are on this side now and part of this and wanting to see these people die, right? Like how did he recruit these other samurai to come and take out their brethren, right? What's going on with them? Although I feel like there's a little bit of like a Scarface, like the fact that at first, remember, Shijiro asked him directly, what is the outcome of this? Why is this happening? He's like, I can't answer that. But then as the battle went on, he said, even if you make it past here, even if you make it to Tokyo, you're not getting a happy ending. Why would he need to tell him that? Right? So there's something going on there. There's some kind of mind games or some type of manipulation that Kawaji has dropped on some of these samurai to have them give up and want to just watch their brethren get killed. But also, why is Kawaji so determined to have Shijiro, the savage, and the Aino at the end at some point? It can't just be for the entertainment value. There's got to be something that he wants out of all of this. And I just don't think he's willing to see, because again, that's why he doesn't want them dead. There's got to be more to it. We understand who now. We understand the how. The why is the outstanding question. So we'll have to see if we get that in the next episode. But yeah, that's pretty much what we got in this episode outside of the ending, which has got us on nails and tender hooks here with Shijiro entering this town with way too many people, way too many innocents around. We know that the Savage is there as well, and he's killed people to get to Shijiro because he wants to finish that fight. And we know that he fights incredibly dirty now. And we also have Gentasai, who has literally made eye contact with Shijiro. And I don't know if he knows that's Shijiro, but we know that he's watching the town as well. And then we see that for some reason, Kyojin is approaching the other brothers that are part of this tournament and trying to, I don't know if he's trying to reunite them or what, but he made contact with them and made sure to do it without telling Shijiro or Roha about it. So what is he up to? That's another outstanding question. So it feels like we're not ready for a finale, guys. We only have 6 episodes, but it feels like I just don't see all of that being wrapped up in a less than 1 hour episode. So I'm hoping that means that we're going to get a part 2 or a season 2, but we're just gonna have to wait till the next episode to find out. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please show some love, and I will see you in the next one.